Since the release of their debut album in 1982, Manowar have had an uphill fight, but have never once taken their struggle to heart. In fact, their music has not only become more pungent, to the extent of signing a major deal with Atlantic, but they have also become more determined. Let's backtrack to earlier days to learn about Manowar. People have accused us of having big mouths, and we have. But we're sick and tired of false metal, and we can back up everything we say. Now, that was a quotation that I read in the paper by Joey DeMaio from the band Manowar. Well, the fact is, they've certainly proved themselves on vinyl. This is the point. You've not only got to listen to battle hymns, Into Glory Ride, but also to the brand new album, to my mind, their best album to date. And the boys have actually come over to England for a little bit of a promotional tour, and I'm speaking yet again with Joey DeMaio. Nice to see you, mate. And also Eric, too, whom I've not met before.
That's right.
And so who are the other two members of the band, then?
We've got Scott Columbus on drums, and Ross the Boss on lead guitar.
So what part of New York do you actually come from?
Upstate New York.
Uh-huh. Is that the same area as Twisted Sister?
No, Twisted Sister come from Long Island.
Uh-huh. So how long has the band been formed then?
About 4 years now, 3 years.
And
Three and a half, 4 years.
Both of you are original members, are you?
Exactly.
Yeah. And Ross the Boss, he was previously with, who was he with before?
Ross was with a group called Shakin' Street for a while, and a group called the Dictators as well.
Oh yeah, they were a sort of like a poppy rocky type group, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
They weren't metal in any event. And if it's not metal, we don't want to know about it.
No, that's right. So how did you boys get into heavy metal music in the first place? I mean, did you start off as a school and college band, just messing about with instruments, or what?
No. That's for fakes. Messing about. We don't mess about. This band was put together to go out and destruct all the false groups in the world. We've been playing in different groups all our lives, been kicked about, been treated badly on shows by other acts, and it's made our hearts black, and we decided to form the ultimate band that would go out with more gear, which we have more gear than anybody else, louder, better, and deliver a real action-packed show and give the fans what they deserve, because we feel people are getting ripped off by other groups.
Yeah, there's quite a few wimpy bands about at the moment.
Most.
Yeah. Okay, so you signed up with Liberty at first. You had your first album out called Battle Hymns, which got some very impressive stuff on it. There's no doubt about that. But then your second album, Into Glory Ride, was released on Music for Nations. Why did you leave Liberty? Specific reason, or what?
Yes, they were wimps. That's the main reason. They didn't know how to market the band, they didn't know what to do with it, and couldn't handle the music. Country music is their thing in the States. Serious.
No, that's
country
true.
music. They have country bands, Liberty,
That's true.
in the States.
That's interesting, yeah. So, of course, you signed up, thanks to Martin Hooker, with Music for Nations, and Into Glory Rides, with marvellous album, no doubt about it. Were you still touring at the same time over in America?
No, we had pulled off the road to record Into Glory Ride because we felt that it was time to make a very strong musical statement and really show people that the musicianship is really the main thing. I mean, why wear a guitar if you can't play it?
Very true. You can certainly play your bass with the accessory. And this boy can certainly sing as well.
Well, that's our point. If you can't do it, don't try to fool people.
Obviously, I've got to ask you one question. Where did the finance come from in the first place? It's very, very expensive, isn't it, to not only to achieve a record deal, but also to put a band on the road. I mean, where has the finance come from?
Well, from different sources, from people that believe in the group, that believe that we are the greatest heavy metal band in the world, the people that have put themselves on the line. People like Paul Clark, people like the record company, people like Light and Sound Design in Birmingham. Faithful people that believe this is the band.
Yeah. Would you say that it was England that has made Manowar?
Beyond the shadow of a doubt.
Yes.
Great stuff. So let's talk about the brand new album, which is called Hail to England. As I say, to my mind, it is your finest piece of product so far, because it's what I call more of a complete album. Let me just mention a few titles which prove that. Not only the title track, but also the Blood of My Enemies, Each Dawn I Die, Army of the Immortals, and also your self-indulgent piece from Black Arrows. I think that is fantastic.
Thank you very much.
What do you use bass pedals? Do you use your 8-string for that, or?
No, I use the Piccolo Bass. Actually, the Piccolo
What's
Bass.
that?
The Piccolo Bass is a relatively unheard of instrument. It's a regular bass guitar tuned up to the octave of a guitar. You just pitch it right up 1 octave, so it sounds like a guitar, but it's just a bass guitar like any other bass guitar, pitched up.
You have a reputation of being one of the fastest bass players in the world. A lot of bass players compliment you. Have you any? Who were you with? Were you originally an ordinary guitarist, like a 6-string guitarist, or what?
No, I've never played guitar in my life.
No. Do you play instruments at all, Eric?
Yes, I do. I play guitar, and I'm one of the closet drummers, you might say. I like to fool around with drums, but...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I've never ever heard of Jack Richardson, the person who has produced Hail to England. Where did you find him? Who else has he produced in the past? Or what?
Amazingly enough, Jack Richardson is extremely famous. A lot of people don't know him by name, but when they hear the groups that he's done, it rings a very big bell. He's done all the hit records by the Guess Who. He did Night Moves by Bob Seger. He did the Poco records. Max Webster, right.
Oh, yeah?
He did Battle Scar, which is what led us to him. We think the recording of Battle Scar and the song itself is a brilliant piece of metal.
It is nice.
And we wanted him to record our first album, but unfortunately at the time we had a difficulty in connecting with him, but we definitely got a hold of him this time, and he turned out to be a prince of a fellow and worked very closely with us, and you can see what the result was.
Yeah, terrific, yeah. So whereabouts was it recorded then?
Phase 1 Studios in Toronto, Canada.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. How long did it take?
It was recorded and mixed in 6 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't... You caught me by surprise. That's terrific. It's very professional.
We don't mess about.
No?
We're prepared when we go into the recording studio. We don't rehearse in there. The songs are very well rehearsed. We go in, bash it out, and mix it.
Great
That's the way
stuff.
to keep it fresh and keep it powerful.
On Hail to England, you've got St Mary's Cathedral Choir on the title track.
Yes.
Do they also perform on another number? Am I right there? Is it Blood of Our Enemies? You've got a bit of a choral?
No. Eric does the background vocals on all the other songs.
Yeah, I've done all the harmonies on all the other songs. We thought that Hail to England needed to have that special sound because it was the title track of the album. So we wanted to have a cathedral sound, and it just so happened in upstate New York there was a cathedral choir that is well known there, and so we contacted them and they did it for us.
What are the touring plans then, boys? After England, do you intend going over to the continent then? Because quite a lot of metal is played on the continent.
Yes, we hope to get there by summer.
That's nice.
We'd like to make some appearances on the outdoor shows as well. But we don't want to look too far ahead. Our main concern now is our first headlining tour of the UK, and that's where the energy is going to be concentrated and
Great
focused.
stuff. Well, that's lovely. And then possibly tour the States after that, maybe.
Well,
see how the old money goes, eh?
The whole thing with the United States is we're in no hurry to play there because this is where it's at. England started metal, and if we can prove ourselves here, then we're going to be very, very happy.
Well, you've got a great album. The album is called Hail to England, and Joey DeMeo and Eric, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Chris. Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot, Chris.